Tro 125. Weren't you in Minneapolis when the Ideal Org there opened up? What was the thinking behind acquiring such an enormous building, a former museum if I recall correctly? Didn't it seem suspicious when the org did not start filling up with thousands of public, eager to go up the bridge? I would think it must be very discouraging for a handful of staff to be rattling around inside a massive structure. So yes, I was on the Minnesota Ideal Org mission that opened up that building. In fact, I had been in Minnesota for off and on for over 2 years working on different projects and missions for the Scientology there, recovering people to Scientology and recruiting people for staff at that organization. And then I was there for the central mission that opened up the org and was supposed to get the staff to all grooved in on what they were supposed to do and get them to get people in, which of course was a total failure because nobody really is interested in Scientology. But anyway, in terms of why they purchased a 90,000 square foot building in Minnesota, it's because it went on market and it was only $3 million. And for a building that size and seeming in a good location, it was not a good location for Scientology, but it seemed like it was, and it was sold as though it was. They bought it up, and they got a really good deal on it at $3 million for that building. That was an amazingly good deal. Not all the churches get deals like that. Renovating that building cost an additional $11 million, if I remember right, which was not a good deal at all. Anyway, so when the building opened, it was empty and it stayed empty. And I used to tell the staff and then my mission guys, we were swimming in that building. It was huge. It was way beyond anything. It had like 9 course rooms that could seat 400 people at a time. It was ridiculous how big it was, given that there are literally 115 Scientologists that as of 2 years ago, that I knew of, active in Scientology in the entire 5-state region around Minnesota. 115 people, period. And that's like calling them all in. So, the whole thing is not about servicing people or getting new people in or getting new Scientologists. That has nothing to do with what that Ideal Org program is all about. It is a total scam. It is totally designed to do nothing but make money for Miscavige and increase the real estate holdings of the church and give the appearancy that there is some kind of expansion going on. It's pure PR. And give the IRS the idea that the money that the church makes is being reinvested in church facilities so as to continue the scam for a few years more. That's it. That's what it's all about. And it's pretty pathetic that after 10 plus years of this, the Scientologists are still falling for it when the evidence is literally right in front of their eyes. It was the Ideal Org program that convinced me, the failure of the Ideal Org program, seeing it right before my eyes, that actually convinced me that what I was a part of was a total sham. And it's what convinced me to get out of being in the Sea organization. And shortly after that, I found out everything else that convinced me to get the hell out of Scientology as a whole. So if it was obvious to me, it should be very obvious to a lot of other people. It should be very obvious to everybody. Some people are a little slower on the uptake than others. But I do know that there have been other people who have seen it and been discouraged by it and have gotten out of Scientology as a result of it, started asking questions, started finding out more. So, honestly, I say continue. Keep going, those Ideal Orgs.